Welcome back to JBSports. I'm your host, John Burden, and today is Friday, so you know it's all about the normal sports. Again, we're just going to go straight into the NBA Finals. It's NBA Finals time. I don't know what else to really say about it. XFL, I might talk about it at the end a little bit, but I also will talk about the Commanders and some of the stuff going on. But first, back to the NBA Finals. We have a game for tonight. But last game on Wednesday, which I didn't stream because one, I ran out of time to do it, and two, I wanted to see what would happen if I didn't stream. And so for every game this finals that I haven't streamed, the Indiana Pacers have won. Coincidence? I think not. But we will go into the game and talk about some of these scores and just things that went on. First, we'll go into the winning team, the Indiana Pacers. Rough game for some players. Other players not too bad. This game really highlighted by T.J. McConnell and Benedict Mathurin. T.J. McConnell, Benedict Mathurin, and I'd say Tyrese Halliburton. Pascal didn't do bad. Pascal did pretty good, but those three specifically. Tyrese Tyrese because it was his first really good game of the finals. 22 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds, and you say really good when you look at the box score. And I say yes just because almost a triple double. Point wise, it's not like in the 30s like other people have had, but the way he controlled the ball and the way he was just better this game, limited the turnovers, and was actually active all game. And he had some clutch threes. Benedict Mathurin, 27 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, 27 points, and I think 25 minutes, something like that, maybe a little less. Bench player getting that is a key. And then TJ McConnell, 10 points, 5 assists, 1 rebound. But the biggest thing is 5 steals. This man was all over the court on Wednesday, game 3, which was a real big key into them winning. The controlling the ball was really good. I mean, everything he was doing was pretty good. Uh, Other than that, I mean, looking at the full box score, you look at the turnovers. This time the Thunder had 17 and the Pacers only had, I believe, 13, which is it's a stark difference. So other things I guess you can kind of say. I mean, plus minus for Mathurin was plus 16, Hallie was plus 1 only, Pascal plus 8, and Obi Toppin plus 18. He had a not a bad game, 6 rebounds, only had 8 points, but it's Obi. He has some good games, and if he's scoring 8 points to 10 points, kind of on a consistent basis, kind of like um, sorry, I'm blanking. T.J. McConnell, he's doing his job. He's doing his job. Hit some threes, which he only hit. He didn't hit one last game, but once he gets those consistent threes, he's doing his job for the day. Um, Pascal, 8 for 14. I think the biggest thing is they didn't shoot good from three, to be fair. I mean, Oklahoma City hit one more three than they did. So they're still struggling from that 3-point line. But free throws, they're 19 for 22. Oklahoma 23 for 30. But the big thing is total takes or shots. Sorry, Oklahoma City was 37 for 79, and the Pacers were 44 for 85. So that was the stark difference there. But going into Oklahoma City, MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 9 for 20, 1 3, 5 for 6 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds total, 4 assists, 6 turnovers, which that is not what you want to see from the MVP and your leader, your captain, your guy who's supposed to be getting these 30-plus point games for you guys. He had a -3 on the plus or minus, and 24 points, which is low for Shai in these games, at least what he's been averaging. Outscored by Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams, 9 for 18, 1 for 2 from 3, 7 for 11 from the free throw. So a little bit of a better day for him, at least like efficiency-wise. Not the best still. He's still around the same percentage, but some of the other things he did better with. He had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 4 turnovers, another bad -9 on the plus or minus, so that's not what you want to see from him. And then Chet, probably his best game of the final, 6 for 15, 0 for 6 from threes. That is something you don't want to see. That's not the best part of it. But 8 for 9 from three throws, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, only 1 turnover, and 20 points. That's kind of why it's the best one. But the 0 for 6 from threes is awful. Awful. Dort still hitting really well from three, 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. He only hits threes this game, so 12 points from him. Casey Wallace, 7 points, 3 for 5, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 turnovers. In the starting lineup, the only person not to get a turnover was Dort. Some of the bench did not have a big game for them. I think that was one of the differences because the other game, Aaron Wiggins was absolutely on fire. This game only took 2 shots, no threes, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a turnover, and 0 points. So Isaiah Joe did hit 2 threes, so that was the kind of main shooter other than Dort, because Dort, other than him and Alex Caruso had 2 free throws, so he had 8. Joe had 6 points, so and Hartenstein 4, so two turnovers by him too. So it's just really off game by the Thunder bench. I think Pacers finally played their brand of basketball, so that's why it actually was not a blowout, but a good point margin, almost 10 for them. So I think that's why they had a lot of success this game, and the better play by Hallie and the bench showing up, especially with Benedict Mathurin. This dude, he's good. He is very good. I think he's younger, so the pressure might be on him a little more, but the whole team is kind of, you know, not the only person with experience in the finals is Pascal. Pascal not playing bad at all, really. He's been averaging around 20 to 22, I think, somewhere in that region. So they're all kind of playing the game like they should. Tyrese finally steps up, has that game. Benedict, he I'm not saying 27 is what he should be getting. I think more off the bench, maybe like another kind of TJ McConnell stat line, like 10 to 15, maybe 15 is probably around what he should be getting, but 27, it was great. Let me get 27 and 22 minutes. I was way off there. But great game by Benedict Mathurin. Benedict Mathurin, he's been hot and cold this playoffs. I know he had a good kind of end to the Knicks series, which really helped propel the Pacers forward. This game, having a good game in the finals, was a game that the Pacers win. So, and if you look at a stat, it was on Halliburton. When he scores 20 plus, they win. Like, forgot what the win total was. It was like 8-1 or something like that in the last however games. I think something like that. So when Hallie performs, they usually win. So Hallie needs to get on this consistent basis to the last few games of the finals, which now I think Hallie has that one game and he gets more confident and he'll start to continue to have that. So I think the Pacers, they did what they needed to do. On stream, I said after the second game, turnovers, got to keep them limited, but you got to start playing defense better. I think their defense was really good. They hounded the Thunder, held Shea to 24, which with Shea, you know he's going to get his buckets. And I think they understand that. I mean, they did very good at guarding him. They were double teaming on some points. So he only had 24, but then it kind of opens for other people to score, which is why Jalen Williams had 26 and Chet had 20. But if you can limit those three to really scoring in like the 20s and kind of just block off the rest of them, that is the way you win. You 3 stars, you know they're going to get their points. Chet, maybe not as much. This was the best game for Chet, not from the 3-point line, but overall best game for him. Jalen as well, not efficiency wise. It was a little better, but not the best. And if you can hold Shea to what he did this game, and you can keep those two kind of maybe a little lesser in that range, and just keep the defense on the other guys, they could very well win this series very soon. And then the Pacers, Hallie, keep that play up. Pascal, keep the play up. Naismith had an off game. I mean, he hasn't really been shooting too much, but maybe shoot some more threes, get some good looks. Turner, 9 points, not the best game for him, but and rebounds. Rebounds, he only had 2. Miles Turner needs to start getting some boards. It's very important for the Pacers that he's the one rebounding because Tyrese had the most rebounds. And you know what? Tyrese, he's been getting a lot of rebounds, but when Tyrese Halliburton, sorry, he had 9. He had 8 defensive rebounds. But when Tyrese has 9 and Miles Turner only has 2, in which I know that sometimes Chet plays out of the pocket. I mean, not out of the pocket, out of the paint, and the other centers play out of the paint, so he's kind of drawn out more. But one, no offensive rebounds, but only 2 defensive rebounds. Turner, love him. Scoring, he doesn't have the most. The 2 turnovers kind of a little worrisome, but not too terrible. But you don't want to have that. Like as a center, probably shouldn't have that many. I mean, he's not really passing too much, or he shouldn't be. Just continue to take care of the ball and just get some rebounds. Hallie, 4 turnovers, which is uncharacteristic. I mean, this finals, he's had a little bit of a struggle with that, but as a point guard, only having 4 when some of the other point guards had close to 6 a game or more, he's doing fine for himself. But good game by him. Pacers continue to play the way you are. If a bench player continues to step up, like Mathurin, good. Just some consistent scoring. I mean, the box scores don't look too terribly different, honestly. You have 3 people who scored a lot. You have Chet, Williams, and Alexander for the Thunder. And then on the Pacers, Siakam, Tyrese, and Benedict Mathurin, which Benedict Mathurin had the most points this game. So great for him. But then you look at the other stars, Dort, or not stars, but other players. Dort only had 12. Wallace had 7. Caruso had 8, and then there's 4 and 6. But if you look on the other side of the ball, you have Naismith 7, Turner 9, Nemhard 8, Obi Toppin 8, TJ McConnell 10, and then Shepard 4. With Shepard, I mean, I guess a better game for him. The Shepard's been getting bullied. He has just always gotten the hardest matchup when he's in the game. So it's rough. It's rough for him right now, but he's doing fine. But just more consistent scoring from Pacers players. Of course, Mathurin, that's not consistent scoring from right now, usually in the playoffs at least, because during the regular season, he was on my fantasy team. He got me a lot of points. He did very good for me. But just he needs to try to keep having those games. That's really it. And of course, Hallie, like I keep saying this, I sound like a broken record. It's probably annoying, but he needs to keep having these games for them to win. But big thing tonight, this series stays in Indiana, and they have at 8:30 tonight, which hopefully this video is out by now. If not, then I don't know what I'm doing if it's not out by then. But looking at the matchup predictor by ESPN, they have the Thunder with a 52% to the Pacers 48, probably closest they've ever had in this matchup so far in the finals. You look at injury report, same people pretty much out for each team, nothing crazy. Then you just look at the game back in Indiana. This game is one where the Pacers, you really, really, really want to win this. If you don't, you still have a chance at winning the finals. But if you win this game, if Indiana wins this game, their chance of winning the finals just goes up through the roof. I'm sorry. They may, so it's kind of looking a little bit like the Knicks series where they did win 2 at the Knicks home, but they won the first game at the Thunder. And if they win these 2 games here, perhaps they lose game 5, but then they have a strong chance of winning game 6. So if the Pacers win this one, they have a really strong chance of winning the finals, which a lot of people said the Thunder would win in 4 or 5. I'm pretty sure I said 6. If I said 5, I don't know why I was thinking that, but I'm pretty sure I went with 6. I hope I did at least. If not, then I'm terrible take by me. But if the Pacers win tonight, it's gonna be scary mode for the Thunder because they've kind of figured out their playing for the finals, and if the Thunder can't adjust quickly to this, or the Pacers can just keep going their pace, haha. But if they can keep like playing like this, Thunder very well might lose this finals in 6. Shoot, it might go the other way around. I really don't think 5, but if it was 5, that would be insane. But it's been a fun finals, at least I think. Personally, I've liked it. I've liked watching it. The stream, it was fun. At the end, I kind of seemed a little bummed, but I think it's just because the game was kind of boring at the end. But I think it's been a fun finals. I really like the matchup between the two. It's better than I thought it was gonna be. I still thought it was gonna be good, but it's been better than I thought it was gonna be. So we'll see what tonight's game has and what the finals can end up being. But this is looking like a real fun finals. Moving on from the NBA finals to some NBA trade rumors. You have Giannis out there possibly going to the Raptors. I've seen some of them are saying the Knicks. Some are saying the Spurs, and there's a report that came out, League Alerts on Instagram. They've been pretty good with their stuff. I haven't really seen too many bad rumors they've spread, but um, it is rumored that Kevin Durant could be traded as soon as next week, as the Suns are planning to trade him next week. And also, Rockets are a team that are rumored to get Kevin Durant. I don't know why I said Giannis. It's literally I was talking about Kevin Durant, but yeah, Kevin Durant, Spurs. You have the Knicks. You have the Rockets, and those are the kind of the main teams. Giannis, like I said, Raptors again, Knicks, and I think a lot of people say Lakers. I don't think they will get him. I think a lot of people just like to say that the Lakers can get anyone they want, but they really can't. Um, but as a Rockets fan, I don't really want Kevin Durant, not because he's not a good player. I just think he's a little older, and I don't want to give up some of our young players for him that I think are going to be really good. Because in one of those trade packages, you're probably going to have to add in a Reed Shepherd, which I don't really want to give up Reed Shepherd. I know it kind of sounds weird, but I think he's going to be a good point guard for us in the future. Jalen Green, that's a guy maybe I can kind of be okay letting go just because I like Jalen. You know what? He's been fun, but the playoff performance was pretty bad, and it was his first playoffs, and I understand that, but it was just the amount of stuff he was saying and the amount of stuff he was doing and just the stuff that was happening was just not. It was just not helpful, and then he just played terrible in the playoffs, and I like him. It was fun when he was here, but I'm okay if he's a trade piece. The only people I really think that are untouchable, probably like Amen Thompson and Shengun. I would like to keep Eason, Jabari, and Reed Shepard if we can, but those are probably some of the people that might be in a trade. But I like a lot of our team. I think we just need that one star to kind of help us. I know some names thrown around there is Devin Booker. We talked about Giannis before, but I don't think that's going to happen. And then of course KD, which we're talking about now. But I do think we need to make a trade, and I think that we need to find that consistent guard for us because we don't really have that guard. Freddie VanVleet isn't consistent. Jalen Green, of course, he's Mr. Inconsistent. So we got to find a guard that can be there. And you know what? If somehow we did get Giannis, I'll be happy with it. If for some reason we do trade Kevin Durant, I'll be open to it. But if I'm being honest, I know the Suns probably have him as untouchable, but I would like Devin Booker. I would like him a lot for our team, but of course I'm not in management. I'm just a podcaster, so I can't really decide what they do. But I personally wouldn't want Kevin Durant, but if it happens, I'm open to what he can do for us. But most likely he's going to go to the Spurs and the Knicks, is what I'm seeing. Watch him go to the most random team like a Trailblazers or something. Imagine something like that happened. I don't think it will, but that would just be funny if he went to a random team like the Trailblazers. But some trades are going to happen, and I think especially during draft season, some of those main draft like teams that are probably going to trade during the draft. I think Wizards are going to be a big team. They got some pieces like Jordan Poole to trade, and they got some younger players as well. They got some pieces they can move. The Spurs, they can move some people. So keep an eye out for trades. I think this offseason will be fun. I know Shams said it would be pretty fun, so we'll see if Shams correct. A lot of people hating on Shams, but I think he'll be all right. He's been all right, and I think he'll continue to be all right. I mean, he got to be the one to give out the Luca information, which was insane, as we all know. Moving on from the NBA, though, we will go to the NFL. Minicamp has started. Laramie Tunzel showed up. Good to see him there. Of course, the guy I was talking the most about, Marshawn Lattimore, he's there. Best thing about that is Marshawn Lattimore looks healthy. He looks involved. He looks like he's moving way better. He just looks better. And I'm one of those Marshawn Lattimore defenders. I know some people don't like him, some people do, but I'm the guy that was like, literally, I will defend this guy until he's healthy and knows the playbook and he's bad. And if he's bad after that, then you know what? Then I can't defend him. But up to then, I'm still defending him. I really do like the corner room. I think Amos, he has looked very, very good in the training camps and OTAs and mini camps, which of course it's mini camps. Um, I don't, you can't really, you got to sometimes take it for a grain of salt, but from what I've seen, I like it. I mean, I'm heard he's getting corner one reps, and of course, Mikey Samerstill, love Frozone, love to have him, but I've said it before, but it's just so nice to see what this cornerback room is compared to last year. Like, we'll just say Marshawn's are one. You got Marshawn Lattimore this year. Last year, I guess Benjamin St. Just. To Amos last year, Emmanuel Forbes, and then Mikey is, of course, starting this year, of course, and that was the best part of that corner room last year, which I think we all knew he'd be good, but we didn't know how good he would be, and he's proved to be very good. But basically, what I'm getting at is it's nice to finally feel competent in a corner room. I feel way more trusting and way more competent in this corner room to be way better than last year's. Just because Benjamin St. Just and Emmanuel Forbes, I won't get into it, but as Commanders fans, you know they were a lot of fun to watch. So, especially Michael Davis, yeah, it's just way better. This room is just way better, and I hope that Lattimore can play well for us. But it is good to see him finally in camp. Also, prayers up to Noah Brown. He was carted off the field. I don't think an injury has come out yet. I'll check real quick, but it doesn't seem good because he kind of threw his helmet on the ground, so it's not looking the best. So prayers up to him. I hope he has a good and speedy recovery. And it's kind of sad to see him hurt because I was really going to enjoy him this year. I think he was one of the best in the league at drawing contact for pass interference calls. So it's going to be rough. But I've heard that Luke McCaffrey is doing pretty good. He's making some strides. So if he has to be our three, he's got to be ready to step up. KJ Osborne, you held once last year, and that was your only play. Start to get ready because you could be thrown into there. And resign Terry. Resign Terry. Terry McLaurin, one of the best or the best wide receivers in Washington history. Resign the dude. Honestly, I'd almost be up to just give him a blank contract. Just say, put your number of years, put the money on the table. Just let us know. We'll sign it. Just because not only is Terry just a good player, he just means so much to us as Washington fans because when we were in those dark periods of the last few years, which literally dark period ended like a year or two ago, Terry McLaurin was a shining light in a lot of darkness. He is one of the only ones. So Terry just means so much to us as a fan base and just as a player and how good he is. So really want him to be re-signed, and I really hope that the Commanders can get that done. Just because it's Terry. It's scary Terry. What else are you gonna say about him? He's him. Scary Terry's him. That's all I can say. So hopefully he can be brought back. Well, I mean, he should be brought back. I don't care. I don't care what he wants. Bring him back. I'm not saying he should be. He will be. He will be brought back. Um, Other things happening in the NFL recently. I know that um, Jair Alexander was released by the Packers. Really interested to see where he goes because he's been one of those corners with some injury history recently. And I still think he can be a solid corner. I don't think he's like a starting corner, but definitely a solid second, maybe third, but solid corner at the least. And whoever picks him up, I think will be pretty good. But if you play Washington, don't put him on Terry. Terry cooks him. It's just what happens. Terry's always been good against him, but interesting to see where he goes. I mean, he's kind of in that Jalen Ramsey role where he's older and he's got some injury history to him because the Dolphins have been trying to get rid of Jalen for a while, and the Packers just cut Alexander. Which, if any of them went to Washington, I mean, I wouldn't be too mad, but they're not going to start for us. We got our starting crew kind of figured out already, but we'll see. We'll see. It's interesting to see where he might go. Rumors. I mean, I've seen some people say Ravens. I heard some people say Falcons. Actually, I don't Steelers maybe, but I don't know. Steelers, Aaron Rodgers. I'm probably talked about this before, but just saying again. Um, have fun with another 9-8 season. I guess I don't really see him being too great. I mean, I think he's a better option than Mason Rudolph, but he's probably just in there to help the rookie. Nothing more than that. Just because he's not going to. I mean, you know what? What if he does ball out? Maybe he balls out, but I don't think he will. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe he has a Brett Favre Minnesota year. Maybe he does. I don't think it will happen, but it would be funny. It would be very funny if that actually does happen, though. That would be very funny. Um, and a lot of people would eat their words, including me. But yeah, NFL kind of still a little slow right now. Just some mini camp stuff going on. I've seen some of the rookies are looking good. Actually, no, I will go into one more thing. I will go into the Bengals and their situation. So, um, Bengals first round pick is their contract with him is just horrible. Um, what was the clause for Shamar Stewart? It was something crazy like they could waive the guaranteed money for like the rest of his contract or something like that. Literally, this guy, the only thing Shamar Stewart is asking for is a normal first round pick contract, which I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think he was first round. I thought he was second round. Um, I didn't have him getting picked before Donovan Ezaraku or even Mike Green, and I don't get the Bengals trying to just make him a guinea pig. If you wanted him, you probably could have waited to the second round and given him a lesser contract if that's what you really wanted. But I know his production probably wasn't there in the last 2 years of his college career to make him a first round. That's why I don't think he was, but he's got the potential. Him and Trey Hendrickson are just in the depths of contract talk. Literally, Shamar Stewart can just sit out this year and get redrafted in 2026. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. It might have happened before, but I don't remember that ever being talked about. So you have a situation for the Bengals where the first round draft pick could just be could just wait till next year and get redrafted. That's insane. Just wasting your first round pick. I wouldn't say he was a waste. I don't think he's the best pick, but he just pay the man. It's just pay the man. It's kind of hard to pay people when you have what was it, 275 something around that million, maybe less than that, but into just wide receivers alone, I don't know how much it is, but it's an insane amount. I might be over exaggerating, maybe not. I don't really fully remember the number, but it's somewhere close to that. I'm pretty sure. And but you put that much money into wide receivers, you can't pay a Trey Hendrickson, and you can't pay a. And I don't think it's even a part where they don't want to pay him that much money. I think they're just trying to give him a stupid contract clause. Listen, if you didn't want a guy to have that low production to have a contract like a normal first round pick, then don't pick him in the first round. It's really that simple. Now you're stuck in this situation where you could lose your first round pick, wait, and he can get drafted again next year, which it would be the funniest thing if he got drafted this year and then drafted by the Bengals again next year. But just pay the dude. He's leaving. He's not attending many camps just because you want to give him a guinea pig contract clause. Just pay him. If you didn't want him to have that contract, then don't pick him. You put yourself in this position, just pay the man. It's really that simple because without Trey Hendrickson going to go full on, you're going to have two guys that won't go full on and maybe a guy that won't play for you. So you can't pay Trey Hendrickson and you're unwilling to pay him. So Bengals, I don't know what you're doing, but you gotta fix something. You gotta do something. But that's kind of it for the NFL right now. We'll move on to the UFL. I know I kind of call it the XFL all the time just because that's what it is really to me. But the UFL championship game tomorrow at what time is it? What time is it at? At 8. I actually might stream this, not gonna lie. I think it'd be kind of fun to stream it. DC Defenders, my team in the UFL versus the Michigan Panthers and the UFL MVP Bryce Perkins. And I think it'll be a fun game. I do watch these games kind of on my own. I don't really talk about it much, even though I said I might, but I just at the end of the day, I thought many people probably won't care about it, but I might stream it just for fun and just to see what happens. Also, thank you for anyone who did show love and go into the game 2 stream for the finals. Thank you very much. I just find it fun to stream, and hopefully it's entertaining for you guys. But UFL championship game, I'm going to pick my DC Defenders. Really good game against the Battlehawks. The Battlehawks were not made for that moment. It was all DC Defenders. But hopefully it's a good game. I think it'll be fun. I know a lot of people don't watch the UFL, but I think it's just a fun time. It's not the same product as the NFL, but it can get interesting. I was watching that before the finals game actually, the XFL championship side, and one of the DC Defenders won, and it was actually pretty fun to watch. I didn't get to see the end, of course, because I had to start streaming, but it was fun. Overall, though, we got into the NBA Finals, talked a little bit about what the Pacers and the Thunder would have to do to win. We talked about the NFL, mostly the Commanders, many things with some teams, especially with the Bengals, and then a very brief amount of time on the UFL championship. But thank you all for watching this episode. If you liked it, put a like and subscribe, please. If you did, I'd be very, very grateful. Have a good Friday. Enjoy the finals game. If you watch the UFL, enjoy that game or enjoy the stream if you come to watch me. If I do it, I'd be very appreciative. Thank you very much. Have a good night and bye.